Have you ever heard a story from the past, one of those grand myths, and wondered, what if it's more than just a story? Well, we're about to take a journey deep beneath the waves, to a place where legend and archaeology totally collide. We're going in search of a city built by a god and swallowed by the sea. So let's dive into a story that has captivated people for literally millennia, the tale of Dwarka, the legendary golden city of Lord Krishna. Now, this place was said to be a paradise on earth, so magnificent that it just had to be a legend. And for centuries, that's exactly what it was, just a tale. Until something was found beneath the waves that changed absolutely everything.
So picture this. Off the coast of Gujarat in India, a team of archaeologists found something that just shouldn't have been there. Deep, deep down, they found not natural rock formations, but massive walls, stone pillars, and the unmistakable layout of a planned city. This incredible find kicked off a quest to find a metropolis that everyone thought was pure myth.
And this discovery, it posed a huge question. Could these underwater ruins actually be the fabled city of Dwarka, the legendary capital built by Lord Krishna himself? Well, the evidence started to pile up, suggesting that an ancient truth had been down there, just waiting to be rediscovered. Okay, to really get how important this find is, we've got to go way back, like 5,000 years into the ancient Sanskrit epics. See, the story of Dwarka doesn't start with a discovery, but with a creation, born from a divine need for a sanctuary.
According to the ancient texts, Krishna's kingdom of Mathura was attacked relentlessly, 17 times. He needed a safe place for his people, so he prayed to Varuna, the god of the sea, who answered his call. The sea god granted him 153 square kilometers of land that literally rose up from the ocean.
And the city they built, the scriptures describe a place of almost unimaginable wealth. It was said to have been engineered by the celestial architect himself, Vishwakarma. We're talking about a city with over 900,000 palaces, wide roads, a bustling seaport, lush gardens, all of it just gleaming with gold and precious gems. It was named Dwarka, the city of gates, and it was a true paradise on earth.
But you know how these stories go. This golden age was doomed. A series of powerful curses sealed the city's fate. First, Queen Gandhari, grieving her son's loss in the Great War, cursed Krishna's entire clan to be wiped out. Then, Krishna's own son mocked some powerful sages who cursed him to create the very weapon that would destroy his people. All of this led to a devastating civil war, and when Krishna finally departed the mortal world, the sea god Varuna took back his land, and the glorious city of Dwarka was swallowed whole by the waves.
For centuries, this epic story of creation and destruction was just that, a story, a really powerful myth. But then, a handful of modern pioneers decided to see if they could find some actual historical truth hidden inside the legend.
The main person in this search was a man named Dr. S.R. Rao. He was a visionary archaeologist with a pretty radical idea for his time. What if the Mahabharata and other ancient texts weren't just religious stories, but were actually historical records? He was absolutely convinced that if Dwarka was real, there had to be physical evidence of it still out there, just hidden beneath the waves.
But his path was anything but easy. The academic world was deeply skeptical. Most of his colleagues thought it was a total waste of time. He had almost no money. His first expedition, famously, started with a budget of just 800 rupees. Can you imagine? And there was no fancy tech, no advanced sonar, just divers physically exploring the seabed. He was basically creating the field of marine archaeology in India from scratch, driven by nothing but pure conviction.
So the search for Dwarka unfolded over decades, and each new effort revealed a little more of the mystery. It all started with some small excavations on land back in the 60s, which then led to Dr. Rao's 12 groundbreaking underwater expeditions. Then the new millennium brought high-tech sonar that mapped the city in stunning detail. And then, in 2024, the whole quest captured the world's attention in a really major way.
So, after all that effort, right, the big question is, what did they actually find at the bottom of the sea? Because this is where myth and science start to merge in the most astonishing way.
Okay, now what's so fascinating is how the discoveries lined up directly with the ancient texts. The Mahabharata describes a massive fortified city. Well, archaeologists found a 560-meter-long wall. The texts talk about a major seaport. They found ancient stone anchors. The legends speak of grand palaces, and the ruins include large stone pillars and building foundations. The finds mirrored the ancient descriptions with just uncanny accuracy.
But maybe the most startling find of all came from a single piece of pottery. Now, a lot of the artifacts dated back to the Mahabharata era, around 3,500 years ago. But this one piece was carbon dated to be an astonishing 9,000 years old. That predates even the great Harappan civilization. It suggests that the history of this place is way deeper than anyone imagined, and that this spot has been an important center for people for millennia.
The high-tech searches in the 2000s really confirmed the scale of this thing. Using advanced sonar, researchers mapped this huge underwater area. And they didn't just find walls. They found a grid-like city layout, foundations, even drainage systems. This wasn't some small outpost. It was a sprawling, sophisticated, and well-planned civilization. So the physical evidence was undeniable. A great city did exist, and it did sink. With its existence pretty much confirmed, only one big question was left. Why? Was it really a divine curse, or was something else going on? While scientists found the answer not in a curse, but in a massive global climate event. See, geological data from the Arabian Sea and from all around the world shows a period of dramatic and rapid sea level rise right around the time Dwarka is said to have vanished. As the last ice age ended and the glaciers melted, coastlines everywhere were just submerged. And this brings us to a really fascinating point where these two stories meet. On one hand, you've got the myth, the sea reclaiming the land after Krishna departed the world. On the other hand, you have the science, a catastrophic sea level rise that submerges a coastal city. They are two very different paths, one of faith, one of geology, and yet they both arrive at the exact same conclusion. A great city was lost to the sea.
This whole long journey, from myth to discovery, led to this really powerful moment in 2024. India's Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, went down with Navy divers to personally visit the underwater ruins and offer prayers. This modern-day pilgrimage kind of transformed the site from just an archaeological find into a living symbol of India's ancient heritage, connecting the past directly to the present.
You know, in the end, Dr. Rao's radical idea was totally vindicated. His whole approach, treating these ancient texts as potential historical records, it opened a door that so many people thought was permanently sealed. His life's work showed that, hey, faith and science don't have to be enemies. They can be two different languages used to explore the very same truth. Ultimately, the story of Dwarka is a great reminder that our understanding of history isn't always set in stone. Sometimes it's waiting for us at the bottom of the ocean. It really does prove that behind some of our oldest legends, there just might be a forgotten reality, waiting for the right person to come looking.